She gave me her final ultimatum about intimacy, her voice cold enough to freeze every inch of the room. "Daniel, if you keep pushing, this will be the last time I ever—" She didn't finish. She didn't need to. I'd heard variations of that threat countless times. But this time, something inside me didn't break. It steadied. I exhaled slowly and gave a small, steady smile. The kind of smile a man wears only after years of swallowing his pain. "All right," I murmured. "I'm fine without it." It wasn't defiance. It wasn't ego. It was self-preservation. The only thing left to hold on to in a marriage where connection had dried up bit by bit. Claire hadn't always been distant. She used to be vibrant, affectionate, full of life. But over the years, the warmth faded into routine indifference, as though she was simply going through life on autopilot, and our relationship became just another background hum she had learned to ignore. I had tried. God, had I tried. Touches, surprises, deep conversations, dinners out, staying up late, hoping something, anything would reignite the spark. But the answer was always a tired sigh, a shrug, a glance past me, as if her attention wandered anywhere but toward us. The night it all changed wasn't dramatic. Just a quiet evening at home. Nothing special. I walked toward her, hoping for a moment of closeness, a small reminder that we were still a couple and not just two names on the same mailbox. Instead, she gave me her warning. Clear, final, a line drawn in permanent ink. And for the first time, I didn't try to cross it. 4 weeks before that night, I had been quietly withdrawing, emotionally retreating, not out of anger, but out of realization. Something had died, and I was the only one mourning it. Once I stopped fighting reality, an unexpected sense of relief settled in. I stopped keeping track of the nights she turned away. I stopped noticing how many meals we ate in silence. I stopped trying to extract affection from someone who kept it locked away. Instead, I focused on myself, my work, my friends, the hobbies I had neglected because I'd always been trying to keep us afloat. I laughed more, smiled more, felt lighter, and Claire noticed. Suddenly, she watched me with a different expression, something like uncertainty. "Are you really okay with this?" she asked one night. "I'm perfectly fine," I answered. And this time, it was the truth. Days passed. I remained calm, distant, respectful, but detached. I didn't plead, didn't negotiate, didn't chase the connection she had already abandoned. That alone unsettled her. She had always relied on my persistence, on me being the one to fix things. Apologize first, try hardest. But I wasn't that man anymore. The change disturbed her. Then came the moment everything flipped. I was out having dinner with Samantha, a coworker who respected my time and enjoyed my conversation. Nothing romantic, nothing inappropriate, just two adults sharing a meal and laughing at a joke. But Claire saw us from across the street, and in an instant, the control she had clung to vanished. My phone started buzzing, message after message, each more frantic than the last. Then the calls. For weeks, she had set the emotional tone of our home. Now, faced with the possibility that I had moved on emotionally, even if not romantically, she couldn't bear it. She panicked. I didn't respond. Not right away. I let the storm pass while I stayed steady and silent. Her final warning meant nothing now. You can't threaten someone with losing what they've already learned to live without. The next day, she approached me in person. "Daniel, we need to talk," she said, trying to slip back into that familiar tone she used when she wanted to manipulate my emotions. I looked at her calmly. "I'm listening." She spoke in circles. Concern, frustration, confusion, her attempts to pull me back into the role I'd played for years. But the hook no longer caught. I wasn't angry. I simply wasn't hers to control anymore. And that terrified her. In her eyes, I finally saw it. The realization, the fear, the fragile cracks in her control. Nothing she said could move me, because I had found something she didn't expect. Peace without her approval. That night, I met with Samantha again. We walked through the quiet streets after dinner, talking easily, laughing at things that felt light instead of heavy. For the first time in years, I felt present in my own life. Not tethered. Not guilty. Not waiting. Claire saw it too. The glow. The ease. The freedom. By the end of the week, the messages stopped. No more checking. No more guilt-laced questions. No more frantic energy. She finally understood. Her power only existed when I needed something from her. I didn't anymore. I wasn't punishing her. I was simply living without chains, without begging, without waiting for affection that never came. Sometimes strength is quiet. Sometimes the loudest victory is the one spoken in stillness. Her final warning lost all meaning the moment I realized the truth. I never needed her permission to feel whole. And in that realization, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Freedom. I didn't need the warning. I didn't need the approval. I didn't need the intimacy she dangled like a prize. I had my self-worth back, and that was more intimate than anything she could ever offer.